Hey everyone, Sean Stringham here with Game On Live Studio. We are recording from Salt Lake City in our headquarters, and I'm excited. We've got some incredible guests. We're going to have John Seiner come back in, join us from his world headquarters, getting ready for Tropical Rugbies. And then we also have a new guest that we're excited to announce here, and his name is Mark Patterson. Trevor, let's bring those guys on. Hey guys, how are you doing? Fantastic.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, and by the way, Sean,
Yeah,
my nickname, my rugby nickname is Triple P.
the Triple
So
P
if you
is
could change who's the guy in the back, who's the guy in the back that puts the names up, tell him to change mine from Mark Patterson to Triple P.
Triple
Because
P is
I am going
here.
to be delivering all the rugby content forever and ever with Tropical Sevens. You may want to fill me in on my role, Sean.
I got you. So we've got the Triple P here with us, and he is going to be part of the entertainment package and part of the main part of the festival that's going to be running. That's new and exciting this year for the Tropical Sevens rugby tournament coming up in Tampa here on April 18th and 19th. We're going to be doing lots of individual as well as team interviews. We're going to be being able to bring those streams in from those individuals, put them up on the big LED screen that we have coming in. John, talk us through a little bit on your vision of how you see that running there in the infield there in Tampa.
Well, yeah, it's exciting. So today we get to have Mark Patterson or Triple P join us
Yup, yup.
on today's podcast. So I think the major theme of today, I think we're going to talk about is the broadcast and the live stream. And I think for us, it's a really important part of the when you look at an event, you look at all the kind of different pieces. And I think the Tropical Sevens has proven that it's, one of the top competitions in the world, bringing together teams from all over the world and offering, elite rugby at every age group. And that's exciting in and of itself. And then, this other part is, how do we spread that word? How do we get the most exposure to these athletes and these matches as possible? And we've come a long way in terms of how we broadcast and get the images out and provide the live coverage of the games. And that's such an important component, especially now that, today's age where technology is so important and video is such a key part of, events and things like this. So last year was the first year that we broadcast every field and every match. And I think we learned a lot of lessons, but we realized that that's a critical part of the puzzle piece, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Made a commitment again to do that. We had a great experience with the goals team last year. We're going to do it again this year with applying all the lessons that we learned from last year. And then one of the things that we're very excited about this year is to add a new dynamic to that, to bringing people that can't necessarily be on site, an experience of what it's like to actually be there. So that's a really important aspect to us. And this is why we've come up with this idea of essentially Tropical Rugby TV through this Goals Network that we're going to be using. And essentially what that is wall-to-wall coverage of
Wall to wall.
Wall to
Yes,
wall.
John. Wall to wall.
If you don't know, the Triple P might have the energy to do this for 2 days straight, and probably the Thursday before, and maybe we'll just start
Yep,
now.
yep.
He's just going to go live now
All the time.
until then, right?
24/7
I-
nonstop.
I think
Correct.
you could tell already that it's going to be fun no matter what we do. So, but in a nutshell, we're going to do wall-to-wall coverage of the Tropical Sevens. We're going to bring in live match footage as we, bounce between the different pitches, kind of like a red zone style. But at the same time, we're going to be taking you behind the scenes and showing you everything that's happening at the Tropical Sevens, because it's not just what's happening on the field of play that's going on at the event. It's really, I've named it many times like a gypsy festival where people show up, the tents go up, the people here, you've got food, music, activity, people interacting, spontaneous things happening all the time, like little dance parties and celebrations. And then, it's just a really, really great environment. So we wanted to bring that to people, and really happy that Mark Triple P will be a studio host for this year's event. And we're going to be bringing you stuff like interviews with, for example, all of the partners that are doing some amazing things, all of the activity that's going up on the stage, the vendors, the food opportunities. We will have many, rugby VIP celebrities. There's so many, for example, former national team players from USA and Canada that will be there as either coaches or players. and we'll hear from them and see what their experience is like. So anyway, this is just a really, really exciting element. It'll be our first year doing it, but we think it's going to be really cool. We'll have a little studio set up to handle all this. It'll be, we'll do a ton of social media in and around it. But I think the first thing that people need to do is find the link somewhere, wherever you're watching this, and look and get the live stream information. So definitely figure out the link, go to there, figure out how to, it's easy to do because Sean's got it all set up.
Yep.
But we've got all the matches live, but you need to get the package from the Goals Network, and then spread the word on that link everywhere you got, because then that's how you get to see not only all the matches but also Tropical Rugby TV.
So what will happen, and I'll just kind of talk through that, is that you can go to goals.co. GOLS.co is the main Game On Live Studio website. There's a link there ready for you to purchase and create access to watch all 13 of the fields. You'll have a weekend pass that you can watch every game on every field. Then you'll also have access to those fields after as well, so you can go back and rewatch your game, and even go back and watch them that same day, so that you can have the opportunity.
All right, great. So as a coach, okay. So Sean, as a coach, which I coached many times at Tropical,
yep.
Are you telling me that after my game, I could come in and I could bring all my team together and we can watch that game we played?
You can watch that game you played. Yep, absolutely. You just go
Look
back
at
into that.
Go back into
the schedule link. You go back into that schedule link and watch that.
Nice.
The Tropical TV Goal Zone coverage will be free. That's an important part, that people will be able to access that. They can access that through the Goals portal that they'll have access to. It'll also be streaming live on Tropical 7's Rugby YouTube, as well as the Game On Live Studio YouTube. So there's a couple of different options.
Okay, so
get there.
Time out.
Yep.
Let me summarize. So you're telling me that this is free to watch me, Triple P.
The Triple P is free.
2 days straight.
2 days straight of Triple
free.
P.
Okay. For all you Spanish speaking people, that means it's gratis.
Gratis.
Okay. Gratis is free. All
Yeah.
right, in Espanol. So we're just bilingual, we're just talking all international languages. For your Britons, it's all right. It's complimentary. It's all right. It's free. Yes. Come on over the pond. It'll be a great time.
Last time we had over 100 nations watch this. Did you know that?
100. Well, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of a small audience for me, but I'll make it happen anyway. I'll still bring the energy with 100.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll work.
That's
That'll work.
CN, by the way, in Spanish.
There you go. Very good. Do you know what it is in Italian?
No, you know why? Because there's not a lot of Italians that play rugby.
Well,
however, in the north part of the country, there is, but no.
All right.
I'm just bilingual.
There
I
you
know
go.
English and then un poquito of Espanol.
Okay, Triple P, break it down for us. Talk to us about your rugby background. How did you get this gig, other than just your personality?
Obviously,
is one of the P's personality?
Triple P,
Mr. Triple P.
Triple P. So first of all, I'll tell you what the name Triple P means. It means pure player pukey. Okay, because I can't really hold my liquor too well, but I can hold the microphone. All right. So Triple P started out and started playing. I started playing at 19 in college, and that was just a few short years ago. That is a joke. All right. So I've been playing since 19. Played for 30 years and for as an adult. And then I've been coaching for the last 15 years. I've been here at Tropical 7's as a coach since 2017 when John started it. And I think I'm the most winningest coach in Tropical 7's history. I've won it 4 times and I placed second twice.
The whole thing. You won the whole thing.
Won the whole team.
Walked away with the hardware.
I won it multiple times in 14s. And then we had 1 year where we did U18 Open. That was the last year in Orlando. And we did U18 Open and we lost in the final. So we lost in final there. And then last year, what was it last year, John? 2 years ago, we lost in the final to the New Zealand side. We lost by 2. So we beat everybody else in North America, but we lost to the New Zealanders who came over. So it was great rugby. But my history with this tournament goes way back and, since the inception. And so it was just a fantastic opportunity that I was not coaching this year. And so I'm going to be able to give you wall to wall rugby coverage from a rugby guy who's got a rugby nickname, and it is Triple P.
The Triple P.
Mark, I'm curious as to, what's your impression when you look back and see the evolution of the Tropical Seven? Since you've obviously been there since the beginning, you clearly have had a lot of success there. Taken home, you probably have several trophies in and around somewhere in your house or something.
Multiple.
But
I need to bring those.
When you look back on the Tropical Sevens, what does somebody need to know about for the last 10 years?
Great question, John. And I will tell you that in my experience throughout the last 30 years, this is by far the best run rugby competition in the world. So I've been to Roslyn Park 7's in England. I've been to out in Salt Lake. I've been to Cleveland for all the tournaments. This is by far the best tournament you'll see, not only in the play, but also the facilities and the whole environment of a rugby festival. If you've never been to a rugby event, this is the one you need to come to. If you never played in a sevens tournament before, you need to come to Tampa for Tropical Sevens, because it's the best of the best. If you want to challenge yourself and be able in your team to be able to play at the highest level, then you need to come here. If you want to have a great time playing rugby, you need to come here. And if you have to stay home, you can still watch me, Triple P, and I'll break down everything for you that happens at the tournament.
Hey, Triple P, last week we talked about it when John and I were kind of kicking off the podcast. You know what? Do you know what Tropical Sevens actually is? It's rugby heaven. Did you know that?
So I do think that it is. It is rugby heaven, with the exception, it's rugby heaven, but with parking. Okay. It's rugby heaven with parking. The number one thing I need to tell you guys, buy your parking in advance. Okay. That's the only thing that you need. Buy it in advance and you'll have a great time. Okay.
And that's probably a very good point for anybody who's listening. Go to the Tropical Sevens website, click on parking, and you'll get the link to the prepaid parking website that the venue has. Very important to buy your passes early, so you can you can access the venue in the parking lots and you're not delayed, because parking is there's always a line to get in. So allow yourself enough time to get in.
Yep. We talked a lot about
pitches. Hold on, let me interrupt you, Sean. One more thing. The pitches are pristine. You're going to love playing on these pitches as well. It's always warm and sunny in Florida. We got a ton of internationals coming from a lot of cold weather places. And I love it because as a coach, I train in the heat, and these kids come, from Canada and stuff. They can't handle this heat. It's a little different story here in Florida. So that is a home field advantage that we have, John, coming, being from a local.
So Triple.
Well, I think that's the whole point of how we set up this tournament, is that you're kind of guaranteed a tropical experience with nice weather, nice field conditions. And it just creates a fun environment for everybody to be a part of, because it's not just going to a rugby tournament, but you're really having kind of a leisure vacation experience at the same time, and that's pretty cool.
Right, correct.
Hey, Triple P, what's been your favorite rugby moment in the past 7-8 years that you've been there? Like, can you distill it down to just one thing that was like, oh man, that is just like prime stuff?
Well, I would have to say there's a couple moments. Number one was our second year in U14.
Okay.
And we did not have, we were unscored on for the whole tournament.
Oh my goodness.
Which is actually pretty amazing.
Well, that's crazy.
We went unscored on and won the tournament. It was back-to-back. We were back-to-back champions. And then 2 years later, that's when COVID hit. And so we moved my son. I was coaching my son's team and he was 16. So there was no 16, 18. It was just U18 Open that year.
Right.
And we had a team of freshmen and sophomores and a couple juniors. And we made it to the final. And if it wasn't for one kid who got 2 yellow cards and it ended up being a red, we would have walked home with the title. But that was amazing because I'd done it. We had done it at the 14 level, and then we went all the way up to the 18 level, and we were still able to do it.
That's
that
crazy.
Just reinforced what I'd been teaching my kids the whole time is that what we're doing is the proper way to do this and the proper way to play sevens.
Yeah.
And we didn't look that big, but we played as a unit. And if you play as a unit in sevens, then you're going to do really well. And my motto has always been great defense turns into great offense, especially in sevens, because if you play great defense, you're always going to get turnovers, and then your defender is not set up properly, so you're always going to be at an advantageous position, especially if you play defense. Where most coaches, in my opinion, they focus too much on offense.
Right.
I've always found with great teams that all you have to do is lock down D, and that's going to separate you, and then the offense will take care of itself.
So the adage holds true across all sports, and this is one of my favorite coaching adages of all time. Defense wins championships, and Triple P can
Absolutely
attest.
right.
Right? Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely right.
So let's.
Hey, Sean, as I listen to this, I think of these are the memories of Mark in specific and his experiences of the Tropical Sevens, but you could just imagine there's hundreds of other and thousands of players that have come through the tournament, and they each have their own memory and experiences. And I think that's something that's really, really cool, is because I don't always see that from an event organizer standpoint, but this event impacts so many people in the rugby community. And it's so refreshing to hear that, everybody's having these positive, amazing experiences, thanks to this event that we put on. So that's good. And the exciting thing is there's more to come.
Yeah, there's
and
way
not
more.
only that, John, we've expanded. So, because what was the first year you had college in men? Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Well, we just started the men's division last year, and
just started the men last year, and then college was it's kind of up and coming, but now it's more there's many more teams, and this tournament keeps growing and growing. So a perfect example, my boys are 20 and 16. Well, they continue to play. My older son's going to be there playing for the U23s, and then I have my other son playing in the U16 Elite. So not only has this tournament grown, it's grown with all the players that have been coming to it for years and years. And both of my boys, when January comes, they're always like, all right, it's only a couple months away from Tropical. They don't even care about their regular season and their local teams. They care about Tropical, and that's the tournament. And that sets the tone for the entire year. If you do great at Tropical, then your year is a success.
Incredible. Yeah, so go ahead, John.
Sorry, just to say, again, when you say that, it's really nice to hear. And I think we've been able to grow, not just in numbers, but also in age divisions as well. So one of the, I think, most exciting things is we introduced on the under 12 co-ed division.
Yes.
And every year that continues to grow. And when we first started, there just wasn't a demand and enough teams to satisfy making a division. But you can see the positive growth of rugby, especially in the United States, but elsewhere as well, that now there's enough of a community out there that, not only is it enough teams to form a division, but it's really competitive. And since it's co-ed, girls out there as well. And this pipeline is starting at a much younger age group. And then these under 12s come back every year to play Tropical Sevens. And that's a really cool story. So we're really happy that we've got a full U12 division this year.
Very cool. So one of the big things that we're trying to do is do more storytelling, right? Take those memories that people are and having them talk about it in real time. So Triple P, as we get into the festival, and we're going to put this up on Tropical TV Gold Zone, right? What are some of the things that people can expect? We're going to do individual athlete interviews. We're going to be able to do team interviews. What are the other things that you're excited to present while we're there?
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you a feel and a taste of you actually being there. So we're going to go around. We're going to be talking to the vendors, showing them kind of what the foods are on. We're going to be up on the stage. We're going to be interviewing the teams once they win. And we're also going to bring them in. We're going to have a set up studio right there, because we do everything right here at Tropical. Going to have a set studio. Then we're going to be able to flip back and forth to all these different games. And so you don't have to wait and watch, just one particular place. You can go to all different games. We're going to bring you in to have the feeling about what it is to be here. So you'll be able to understand that it's not just, hey, I'm going to play my games and then I'm going to leave. No, I'm going to stay. I'm going to be able to get some swag, some great swag. When's that swag coming out? When's the swag? Is it already available on the website?
Well, I'll comment on that one that if you go to our merchandise provider called internationaltrizone.com, they have a pre-sale shop already live, and you can get most of the stuff that's going to be at the venue itself. On the Tropical Sevens website, you can get match balls, you can get banana boat sunscreen, you can get ice, you can get corksicle bottles, all from our partners. So there's a couple ways you can get stuff. But one quick thing for everybody to know is that our merchandiser will be open Thursday, the day before the tournament at
Ooh,
11 o'clock. So if you
Thursday.
want to avoid the lines and the conflict with, seeing missing out on your team's matches, go on Thursday because the store will be open.
Okay, so Thursday is a practice day. So the teams that are coming, you better go to that booth on Thursday because all that swag gets sold out really, really quick. I mean, by midday Friday, it's pretty much done. So get there early. That's what we always would do is when we go, I get my boys, we practice on Thursday. And then after practice, we'd be like, all right, let's walk over to the tent and let's get our gear now because that swag goes quickly because it's on point. It's fire.
Great work. I don't think, John, I've ever seen you smile this big ever before in
See?
our relationship.
Exactly.
Are you excited, John? Like, just tell me, are you excited? I can't tell.
Tropical Sevens is fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is. It is. And I'm here to tell you to relay the fact of how much fun it is. Okay. That's how much fun it is what you're listening to me. If I'm fun now, just imagine you being at the tournament. It's amazing.
So Triple P, if you're not coaching, who should we watch? What are the teams that you're excited to see? Like we've got teams coming from all over the world. Who are you excited to watch and see?
Well, number one, I'm definitely going to be a homer. All right. So I'm going to watch my son. He's U16 Elite playing for Rebel. They're out of Colorado. They just went to Roslyn Park 7's. They were the only U.S. team to go over there. So they're going to have a 16 and 18 elite teams. So I'm kind of looking out for them to kind of set the tone. I'm also looking for these Canadian teams. So correct me if I'm wrong, John, there's a lot more Canadian teams this year than there were last year, at least kind of what I've seen on the list. So I'm interested to see how they acclimate because some of these teams, you just don't know what you're going to get. In the fact of year to year, they can be very, very different. A lot of those teams have not played a lot of rugby because it's so daggum cold. And another one, Alaska. Alaska's coming down here. All right. So I'll never forget. We were playing. This was when they had the Vegas Sevens years ago, and we played Alaska. It was the first game, and I took them too lightly, and they beat us. And I said, never again. I rested my starters at the beginning, and I was like, never again. And Alaska beat us. So that's the last time. But they usually always bring a great contingency. I'm interested in them. And also, I want to see the U12s. I like watching the U12s because that's the first time, and you'll see this as well. The first time you come to Tropical Sevens, it is information. It's just overload. It's just so much.
True.
You, as a kid, you cannot process it.
Right.
Because you go to your
as an
little
adult,
club,
you cannot process it either. There's lots of adults wandering around like they don't know what's happening to themselves. So it
is so much. And then because when you come in as a little kid, 12, 14 years old, like you all you've been doing is playing rugby at the local level. And then you come to a national and international level. And what I found is that get the kids to Tropical early, get them playing early, because that first year they're going to be in awe and they're really not going to play too well. But then once they understand, the enormity of the event, it sets goals for them. And they're like, okay, well, I'm going to get better for Tropical because I want to be the best of the best. And that's what you want to test yourself. If you want to see how good you are, you come to Tropical Sevens and you will know pretty quickly because the talent level there is second to none.
And John, I feel like the intensity level of the festival is going to go up just a little bit. What do you think with Triple P on the mic? Live there? I mean, I think there's going to be some energy there the entire time.
Well, I think what's happened, in a way it's happened organically as the event has gotten, bigger over the years, is it just, nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd, so to speak. So again, the bigger it gets, the more partners that want to be involved. So we've got more sponsors, we've got more vendors. it was great to have this venue in Tampa that's more friendly for a tournament style event. And then we brought in the stage last year with the DJ and music and activities. So now, for example, all of the awards ceremonies take place on the stage, and everybody, can crowd around and see it. And it creates this amazing environment and ambiance. It's like a village environment now, very much so, with all of the vendors and all the tents that kind of line the entire venue. It really creates an amazing ambiance. And then, this year we'll have the LED screen that's up, so you can actually see what's going on. Most of that will be the Tropical Rugby TV footage. So it's just really, really exciting. I think it's great what Mark just said about it's overwhelming when you get there. It's the enormity of it, and you're just looking around like, where do I go? What do I do? How do I consume this? It is festival like, very much so, and it's very stimulating. And then the bedrock of it all is this amazing rugby competition that's going on. And again, if you're a U12 player, for example, you're looking up at all of these other kids, from high school kids to college kids to even the senior adults, that are just competing at this incredible level, and you kind of get this sense that it is indeed something like rugby heaven that we've talked about before.
Heaven, I love it. We're going to make that a hashtag, don't you think? Rugby heaven, hashtag rugby heaven.
Well, you'll see it out there.
Yeah, because you have signs and stuff like that.
We have a big sign in the back. So when you walk in the very back, you'll see big, big letters. It says hashtag rugby heaven.
There you go. Love it. Cool. Hey, Triple P, what else you have for us?
Well, I'm just super stoked and excited that I'm taking on this new role. Everybody who has known me in the rugby community, they understand that I'm kind of.
So do people know you in the rugby community, really?
Yeah. I'm they all know Triple P. I've always been in broadcasting. I've been on the mic, used to be on the radio in Miami, in West Palm as well. Done a lot of commentating for rugby matches as well, and also the PA announcer for the Miami Sharks. So
okay, so they know you. I'll give it to you.
They know my voice.
There you go.
Okay,
love it.
When they walk into the Sharks game, they're like, "Oh snap! Triple P's on the mic." So, talking about those advertisements when they're walking in and everything, and celebrating, the score. So yes. We are definitely. This is my jam. Rugby's my jam.
I love it.
So yes, I am part of the Florida community as well as the international community. In fact, I think I've been to the most tournaments, the U.S. tournaments, than pretty much anybody throughout the years, whether it be L.A., Vegas, Wisconsin, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, and then obviously Tropical 7's. That's my home venue. That's where it all happens, and that's where the best of the best come here. That's a key.
That's the key. Cool.
A key.
John, John, what are your final thoughts here as we wrap up here and get ready to go into next week? And we're 2 weeks out and from the event. What are the things that are stressing you out that people need to know?
Well, there's that famous expression that, if you're a client or a consumer on these things, you don't want to know the craziness of what's going on behind the scenes. So we're working very, very hard to make this a special event. And I think it will be. We're seeing a lot of the excitement online from all the teams that are getting ready to come and preparing. So it's a lot of, on one hand, it's a lot of administrative things that we're doing, making sure that the rosters are being filled out and completed, and all the checks are going through, and all the compliance and everything. So that's keeping us very, very busy. We're doing a lot of communications, getting the word out on everything. And I'll reiterate again that you want to get your weekend pass for the live stream so you can get access to all the matches. So again, find the link somewhere on wherever you're watching this.
And all you're going to have to do is just comment link if you're watching on Instagram, or if you're on YouTube. Yeah. If you're on YouTube, it'll be in the description. If you're watching on Instagram, just comment link and it will automatically send you the link for this live stream.
Yeah, it'll be the broadcast this year will be a lot of fun. But at the same time, we've also got other I was just thinking that we've got other elements here that maybe a lot of people don't know about. That's what's happening at the event. For example, we have a referee program. That for this year, we actually have a title sponsor for the referee program, the United States Rugby Foundation, which does an amazing job of supporting the rugby community through various grants and initiatives. So happy to have them as a partner. But we will have a minimum of 80 referees that are coming in from around the world.
Oh, wow.
And it's a massive program in and of itself just to do the referees. to facilitate the 650 plus matches that we have over the 2 days. So our referee program is a big deal, and they always do a great job. And that's an actual pathway program for USA Rugby and the referee program. So they're identifying the future, top referees of not just the United States, but that go on to the international competitions. And then you've got a large contingent that are actually at that top level as well. So referees, we hit it out of the park. We have a new provider for athletic trainers this year. So we'll have different stations throughout the venue that our athletic trainers will be able to immediately service, any injuries that are happening out on the fields. And then something else is the US Rugby uses Tropical Sevens as an official talent identification camp. So they have all their staff out there scouting. They're looking at players. They will be set up alongside our athlete combine, which runs the Thursday from 12 to 6. We'll have athletes are welcome for free to come up and participate in the combine, go through the physical activity stations. We'll have a really cool blow up obstacle course that everybody loves to run through. But USA Rugby will be there with their scouts, looking at players, talking with players, and then
as well as colleges, right? Colleges as well, Jonathan.
And then there's dozens and dozens of colleges that are on site looking at players. Many of them will have vendor booths set up so you can actually interact with them. They get access to all the footage, so they're watching on the live stream. So this is a great opportunity for players to have opportunities to go to college to play rugby. So all of this is kind of happening and making this a very vibrant and active environment. So it's definitely exciting.
Incredible.
The only thing that's missing is some sing-alongs, which I can provide.
We're going to do that. We're going to have a DJ, and you're going to have a mic, and we're going to karaoke. We're going to have rugby karaoke. It's going to be incredible.
Nice.
Very
like
cool.
It.
All right,
I'm better
guys.
on the mic than singing, but I'll get it done.
All right. John, you're going to get the last word here. What do coaches, administrators, athletes need to be doing right now to be ready for when this event kicks off?
Yes, finalize your rosters. Get all your players compliant and ready to play. You'll make it very easy for you when it comes to check-in. So get all that done online. When you show up at the venue, come to the check-in desk, check in with the people who will be welcoming you there. Make sure you get everything that you need, including your hang tag, parking pass, that you get one parking pass per team. And then once you're there, you're all set to play. And I will say as well that next week we'll be announcing the pools and the entire competition schedule. So everybody's been asking about it. It should be next Friday. The week before the tournament should be when pools and competition gets posted. And you can get all of this information on the app. So download the Tropical 7's app on any of your apps, whatever app store you have. Download it because all the information you need is right on that app, and that's your one-stop handheld tool for the whole tournament.
Incredible.
It is phenomenal, that app, by the way. And I'm going to tell my boys that you're posting it next Friday. That's always like a special day. Then they get to see who they're playing.
Yep. Triple P, sign us out. How are we going to do this?
Triple P, indubitably, Tropical 7's is a place to be. So come watch me on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, probably Friday, Saturday, and it'll be indubitably fantastic. Okay? Peace from Triple P.
Couldn't say it better, everyone. Thanks, John, for joining us. We'll see you again next week. We've got the next Road to Tropical 7's podcast coming up with the Triple P, with John Seiner. My name's Sean Stringham with Game On Live Studio. Excited to make this all happen. See you in Tampa, everyone. Peace.
See ya.